everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I know it's been a long time. Um, Most of you who know me a little more personally know that I and my husband and our son um, got the virus and got really sick. And I haven't made any videos in quite several days. Um, and that bothered me. I wanted to get back and get out there and put stuff out there for you guys to see and whatnot. But having the energy and all that was difficult to get back. I still don't think I can taste anything. I smell some things, but only if they're really, really strong. So I don't know. I've heard people say, "Oh, that never happened to me," or "That's never come." I know so and so that's never come back, et cetera, et cetera. So I know it's a thing, and I'm just gonna have to work with that. But it has left me very thirsty, thirstier than usual. So you may see me drinking some spring water here. I'm going to reach down here because I realized I forgot. Let me put my headphones down. I'm going to reach down here because I forgot to grab just it's a couple things that are down here to my left, but my headphones aren't long enough to let me reach that. Hold on 1 second. And the all important glue. I don't know if anyone is going to pop on to chat with us, or if anyone else is going to be on from the crafting community who might message me, might want to get on online and be crafty with us today. But this is my one little window when hubby's not working in this room today. So, okay. So, as you guys can see from the title, I wanted to make some bird feeders. And I know that there are certain kinds of birds who are in our area, and they very much like shiny things. I was outside in the backyard getting a little bit of sun the other day between sniffles and drinking water and my Kleenex that I had with me. I was not only accompanied by the cicadas that we have going in our area. I don't know if that's happening with you guys, but here in the Midwest, it's cicada time. And quite frankly, everybody was so concerned and all the hype and whatever, but this is by far nothing compared to what happened when my kids were younger. And we actually had to go out on a Saturday medical appointment that day. Those kids were scared to death. They didn't know how they were going to be able to make it from the car to the building without getting him in their eyes or getting him in their mouth or whatever else. It was. I do admit it was really bad. You had to use your windshield wipers to drive, And unfortunately, we were going to a more wooded area. And not only that, but they had like the slate, um, the wood slate type of a um, roof that came also down the sides of the building. And I don't know what it is about wood and these cicadas, but they like the wood, and they were just swarming in those trees and in that wood building. And I just told the kids, close your eyes, take your hand, cover your mouth, take the other hand and hold on to whoever's in front of us, and let's just do this thing, because it isn't going to get any easier. They aren't going to go away. And that's what we did. Ran from the car to the stairs and inside, and there was a whole group of people, because the appointment was on the second floor, looking out this bank of windows, maybe 3 or 4 windows, this area, to look at them. Felt like we were sort of in a weird type of a cicada bubble instead of a cicada globe instead of a snow globe. Speaking of snow globes from Christmas, this is one lone Christmas tree ornament that did not make it back into the package it belonged in. So when I got everything out today, just to start with our items, I saw that and I thought, ooh, wouldn't that be fun? Because, you got to have something to kind of keep the bird seed from just settling all to the bottom and getting nasty and whatever. So I thought to have this in the middle for fun to start with would be good. What is going on with this part of my desk? Not wanting to cooperate. Sorry about that. So I thought wouldn't that be fun? I mean, my Goodwill margarita basic glass that I washed up, and a basic small, let's see how many inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 by 4, and deep it is 1.5 inches deep. And when I saw this, I thought, oh, that would be lovely, right? But like, where would they all necessarily land? It wouldn't be the easiest, And I thought, oh, well, if I glue this into the middle of this, and then I will have my husband come along and crisscross the, what do you call it? I don't know that I want to use hemp. I mean, I might, because it's, obviously it's natural, but I want it to be strong enough and not break down with weather, and then have this glass come crashing to the ground. Plus those squirrels, these darn squirrels we've got, guys, just, ugh. And raccoons, they try to steal everything. Oh, dog alert. For some reason, the bottom half of our split door came open, and the dogs think the world might be ending. Oh, Lord. No. So I'm just spreading E6000 across the bottom of this really good. My E6000 has gotten pretty thick here. It's not the only tube of it that I have, so if I have to, I might have to go get another tube to make things work well. But I also have a fan going to the side of me. I'm going to place that in the center. Push down and watch that E6000 ooze around. Now it oozed around well on that side, but it did not on this side. I don't know if you can see that. You see where this side is still got air and whatever, but this side over here has filled in completely with the glue. So maybe it'll have to take some manhandling. Okay, so I also have different color, some opaque ones, as well as some that are just flat. They're all flat backed, as well as some that are translucent. They're all green. I had to have my one token one that I am due to take outside. But I also have marbles. So I thought maybe that at least around right here, that they might be a wise thing too, to also do the same, have the same purpose as this has above, where you don't just have piling on of birdseed that gets nasty at the bottom. So I'm just going to spread a little bit and see how many marbles it takes. Not marbles from my head, actual marbles. To glue in there. Oh, that one did not want to. Let's get some more on you, so that you will stay. So it looks like a width of 2. Yeah, it's probably better to not spread it on try and spread it. On the actual bottom of the glass. Too much, but more on the actual marble itself. Okay, so there's 2 rows. Yeah, let's keep going. Ooh, I have some big ones. One. How many big ones do I have? Just one? Maybe I'll have to leave that. So what has everybody been doing? Well, I have been out of the mix, so to speak. Stuck up in a room by myself. We don't like to spread germs around our house. Let's see. Not a whole lot of variety in these in this bag of marblies that I've got going on here. I know that Miss Aunt Beck's Creations, Becky, is doing the mushrooms, the glass mushroom yard art DIY. I don't know when she's going to do that. I asked if we could do it together since I have all my stuff too, but then I got sick and never did hear back from her, so I'm sure she didn't want to bring up anything to stress me or try to get me out of my sick bed when I needed to stay and rest. Hello, husband, are you home? I'm filming a video. Okay, can you shut the door? At least the bottom. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yes.
Great. He just had a little trip to the hardware store. Let's see if this is an even kind of match here. Even enough. Yes. I sent him a photo of, I see these are not all the same size either. I sent him a photo of what's called a mud kitchen, you know, for when your kids are little, and it's made out of wood and got plastic tubs set down in it, and they get to explore in nature and make mud pies and make a mess, and it's all outside, and you're able to hose it down and clean it up. Except I want one, you know, on an adult size scale so I can have it. Because this year the outdoors in my own backyard is a place I plan to spend a little bit more time than I really ever have before. We have liked to spend time on our deck especially in the evenings when it's not so hot, except our deck is on the west side of the house. So yeah, but the deck is still a fun place to be, where our plants, a lot of our plants are. I just got a lavender plant the other day. I also got, I forget what it's called officially, but they call it a praying plant because it looks like the lines in the green on the leaf look like, you know, like two hands in prayer, but mine's like double, so it's got like two sets of lines. So I don't know, we'll see. This little guy wanted to droop off of there. No, that will not be allowed. Well, everything's just a little bit movable still. I'm going to have to. Okay. Of course, this is really strong glue, but very strong smelling glue. And I don't want the birds to be able to get at it. I want it to set up real nice and cure up real nice before we put any bird food down in here or here on the top. This one looks like it's got a crack on the bottom, so we'll put that bottom facing down. But looks like that is all it's going. Now I've lost the lid. Oh, there it is. was going to have help asking for the lid if I didn't find it. So there is that. And there's this. I wish I would have thought to pull. Aha! So look anyway. To pull that out. And then maybe get one of these on top. You guys, my mind is on tornadoes. We've had so many tornadoes through the prairie area and the Midwest already this spring. Hopefully will settle down for the summer. There's just been so many people impacted. We used to live in what was considered Tornado Alley, and I think I had heard somewhere during all this that's been going on the last couple of weeks that Tornado Alley is not the same area of the country that it used to be. It's moved a little bit farther inland. Oklahoma gets a lot. Nebraska. Yeah. So let's move this one out of the way. This one is a soup tureen I also got from Goodwill, and it did not have its lid, but that doesn't matter to me because I want to be able to, hang it from these handles and then have this ledge be where the birds are able to set to get to the bird food. I just have to figure out what I'm going to fill the bottom with before I put bird food in it. I might go the more natural route and just use rocks to kind of help with drainage. So we'll see. Ew, these guys want to be crooked. No. Stay straight. I'm just adding 3 red ones across the top of the handle to make it look a little bit cuter. Although the pattern seems to be blue and yellow and gold. And I'm not a big fan of red, but this kind of looks like a rose inside of the marble. I don't know if you can see that or not. Some sort of flowery kind of shape. So I thought they would do just fine sitting here together on either side. I do have a fan going, so if you hear a little bit of a hum, I do have a fan going next to me because of the adjusting temperatures outside and inside. We haven't quite decided whether to turn the air on or not yet. Also, it has helped with the smell. Like I said, with this 6000 it's a very, very, very strong smell, very strong glue, very good glue. Does great with glass and things like this. Does great with all kinds of projects, but very an icky smell where you want a little bit of ventilation too. Oh my goodness, look what has happened. Oh, we're going to have to, the only way to solve this is to add more in They've tried to mutiny. Mutiny. Mutiny on the marble scene here. You guys are staying. Nobody's touching you anymore. But you guys over here, since you're on a slant from that martini glass, I'm going to cut you some slack and try to just add a few more in and see if that'll help the scenario a little bit. This is some pretty good weight in glass, if you include the glass marbles. A jumper. We've had a jumper. Uh-oh. Oh, here's a green one, like the red ones are. And let's stick you up there. See if you'll stay. And make any of the rest of these stay. To where I only have to kind of go around some of these edges, not a whole row all the way around. Should have known this was going too easily. Hi, Dana. How are you today? I'm still sort of losing track of my days. Today is Tuesday, right? Yeah, I wanted to get this live in. I don't want to interfere with, you, and if you get on with Beth or Beth's stream. And that one's causing trouble because he's a lot bigger. These opaque marbles they seem to have a little bit bigger diameter. Can't have you guys coming loose with the birds. Hi, Barbara. Yes, I will be your darling, you wonderful, sweet chicken pot pie, you. So nice to see you. So, Dana, you've been working on a window that you're gluing glass to. Oh, interesting. So the window, will it actually be in a wall like a window to outside, or is it a total like DIY art installation thing? And what are you up to, Barbara? Anything today? How's you guys' weather? Ours is nice and in the 70s. Maybe later I'll take you out in the backyard too. Since my phone won't overheat like it did the first time I tried to be outside and film with my phone. Craziness. Live and learn, right? Isn't that what they say? I just have to keep pressure on all of these. It's an old window you're going to hang on the porch. Oh, so is it going to be like a window that you can see through? Look at you easing 6,000 without gloves. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember doing purposely as a kid, gluing each other's and our own fingers together with super glue. And I recall some sort of strange idea that we had that somehow it removed your fingerprints. You had the Vulcan salute. That's funny. It wasn't always the easiest to get off. But of course, we were fearless Gen Xers. You're gluing the glass too. So what are you gluing to the glass? I have been working on a window that you're gluing glass to. It's an old window you and hate. Oh, so are you going to like glue glass to the frame, or are you going to actually glue glass into the window and have it be something that hangs there and you can see through it? So many questions. I have so many questions, Dana. I can't help it. Okay, gotcha. Beautiful. I love when people do that, especially when they hang like, where sunshine can come through them, and like behind a hanging swing or, anything like that. Real cute. Real cute. I think everybody's about these kinds of things for their porches and their decks and their backyards. It's that time of year, spring, almost summer. What color? How about this little puppy? You're pretty. You want to be the last guy in? All right. No, one more guy. Gotta be one more. Ooh, a fierce little Yorkie, guys. Beware. He hears something, and that's him taking off to go upstairs and see what's what. Because he can see from the big bay window. Anyone dare come near the property. His house, All right. Yeah, I never, sadly, I never even thought of gloves, Barbara. You learned when you drove to the hospital, fun working the car steering wheel, that I just needed a nail polish remover to unglue. Yes. That is very true. You just need nail polish remover. All right, I'm going to put down my headphones for 1 second and see if I can find that jumper of a marble. Yikes. Hold on, ladies. Let's see. Will it be easily found, or is it already E6000 glued stuck to something like my floor? Oh, goodness. Oh, no, I don't want my... Sorry, Silk. I'm getting in there. But I did hear that hit the floor, and it rolled. There it is. Don't get it, puppy. Don't get it. No. Not for the puppies. Not for the puppies. Sorry if you got a big look at my behind. Yeah, don't glue my fingers to my headset or to the dog. Yeah. I also just don't want a bunch of nasty dog hair. Yeah, my DIY things never involve completely doing it myself. There's always something my husband ends up having to help me with. Something I thought I could do and really couldn't. Or let's say, an element he was going to have to help me with no matter what. So it wasn't completely a solo project. So let's see here if you can behave yourself now and stay there. How does that sound? Yeah, and you guys over here too. How you doing over here? Oh, you need a little more? Thanks for letting me know. The middle guy's good. That guy's good. All right. I like to wipe as much as possible off the top, and then even a little bit down into the inside, just so it doesn't ooze up as easy. And then you don't want all this around anything around the edge like this. Makes it hard to get the cap off. You can glue your cap on that way. And since this is a metal tube, it responds to the heat in your hand, and it really does start coming up. There we go. I can scrape it off with my fingernail. All right. No more coming from the inside. Waste not. And you shall not glue my tube together. I forget how much this stuff costs. I know it's not the cheapest glue to buy, but I think much more has been spent on other crafts supplies, probably other glues even. My husband's a pretty big glue guy. He has a lot of different kinds of glue. But for some reason, I forget what it was. Oh, a Christmas present. He needed to put velvet line in a box. And fell in love with my Yes Paste. He said Yes Paste was now his favorite glue, which meant I made sure I got that back and in my cabinet because it's not easy to work with and it's not cheap. And yeah, and that's mine, not his. So I don't know what to do with this one lone clear one. It's not going to make much difference sticking it down in the bottom of this. So maybe I'm just going to... Maybe we will get out some of these that are opaque and put them in the bottom, because the sun is not going to be hitting down in there anyway with the bird feed on top. These were left over from Christmas where we used both the opaque type and the translucent type to decorate our Christmas table. Not to mention these can be had at the dollar store in multiple color bags, single color, but multiple colors available. I don't think they have a bag that has multicolor within the same bag, but that would be smart. Let's see how much we got here. Oh, that one's a broken half one. Don't want to automatically throw it away. It might be useful in a corner. You purchase the glue in very small tubes. The initial outlay is a tad more expensive, but in the long run, you're not ending up with dried up glue. Yeah. Oh, Joann's has the multicolor bags. Okay, so I see. I had a feeling that it existed. Barbara keeps her E6000 in a Ziploc bag. Oh, smart. That helps like the air from getting all to it, and you kind of get the air out of it before you zip it up. Yeah, anything, I think, once it's been opened too, you know, the countdown starts to where it's not good anymore. And that goes, you know, from our pens to our ink pads to our markers to glues. Really, you name it. I'm probably going to have to do these one by one again on the flat bottoms. Move these over. Move you over. Move you guys over. The half. I wonder where the other half is. It got lost in this bag. But I have one half if I have a space issue. And I think I am going to start with sticking this one right smack dab in the middle. I feel like we should have Jeopardy music playing behind us for some reason. Does anyone know what Miss Beth is doing this evening? She seems to be so good at having certain things she's known for doing, and then also being able to fly by the seat of her pants with whichever one of those things she wants to do. You haven't talked to her, Tina? I hope she's not sick. Of course, that's my first thought of anything because I've been sick lately. Nobody likes to be sick. Bird music. Feed the birds tuppence a bag. Tuppence a bag. Tuppence. Tuppence. Are you going to tell me that definition, or shall I save it for something I need to look up? Because I do love words. And I love books. Tuppence. I know that I've heard that word, but not in the sense of that, like a song like that, but I don't know where I would have read it either. Okay, so there's the center there. Beth is like the ADD crafter. Oh, but we love Beth. I still have to get my answer as to who I'm supposed to have sent those tags to from when I was sick. I believe Sherry Van and Sharon Lombard are 2 out of my 3, but for the life of me, ladies, I cannot remember who the other one is. And I tried to ask, but I might have to ask her more directly in a message maybe to get that figured out. What am I making this for? These are going to be bird feeders that hang outside. We only have one tree left in our yard. One we had to cut down when we expanded and added on to the back of our house and moved our garage back. And then we had one in the front that was just dying out of the 2. So the dark red maple, is it, honey? What? The tree in front is a dark red, the red maple. Yeah, that one is thriving now without having to compete with the other everyday maple that was there and dying. But we had one tree left in the backyard, but it was in the corner and very, very mature. This neighborhood is from about the 60s or so. And that tree was very mature. Lovely tree, but getting in the way of everyone's phone and cable and internet, wires back there in the corner, there was a, a whole big junction that other people besides just us depended on. So that tree went. So I have a little stump that I need a name for, guys. I need a name for not just like the stump, but like, it being my little area. I've got flowers around it, fake flowers at the moment until Honey plants some hostas. I've got 2 solar light crescent moons. One of them has a little fairy. One of them has a star that dangles. Looking for which one of these is the smallest. And then I have 2 little bunnies that are solar lights too. But these I want to hang, since we have no trees in the back, I'm going to hang from the front yard. Because it seems like anything along the side of the house, on the east side, the fence runs along the driveway, and the squirrels just run along the top of the fence and come down and steal whatever might be out there, and off they go. It's from Mary Poppins. Julie Anderson's. It's Tuppence is a perhaps was. Oh, yes. Okay. Make it look like a little gnome house. You want me to make this look like a little gnome house? Instead of a bird feeder? Or a gnome house themed bird feeder? I do have some fake mushrooms, stakes in the back by my tree stump too. The cicadas have been going crazy because they think that the fake flowers, the white and the mango flowers that I put there from the Dollar Tree, are real. But even if they aren't real, they have been a safe place for them to do their thing and shed their skin. Oh, make the stump into a gnome house. Ooh. I have to tell my husband about that. I'm going to have to do some looking on Pinterest and seeing what kind of things. Although I am envisioning like Anne of Green Gables, how they built that little clubhouse out in the woods. I don't think he'd appreciate a little clubhouse that rustic in the middle of our backyard back there. But you never know. And I still want that. I still want that mud bench. Like I said, it's supposed to be for kids earlier. I was talking about it so that they can make mud pies and everything can be hosed off, and it's all made out of wood. It's like a workbench, but bigger, but longer, with the top, and you can hang things from it. It has places to set down in 2 plastic, tubs recessed into it, and a shelf, small shelf on the bottom. And I just thought it would be fun for plants and things that you're going to use for your plants, and have it be outdoor proof and whatever. So I don't know when hubby got home from Menards a few minutes ago on his lunch break, if he got anything for that or for something else. I know he was needing to make some sort of standing desk to replicate something he got a plan for. He has a standing desk at his work, but my husband has not been back to work since before everybody had to stay home. And most of that, after everything settled down, has been because our son has not had a nurse and requires 24-hour care. So we just got a nurse recently. She's in there with my son right now. And hubby's in here working close by, so if she needs anything, she is not afraid to ask questions and not afraid to ask the same one twice if she needs to. We like people who ask questions. It's a little scary if they don't ask questions, because there's a lot going on for him. And even if it's just to ask why we do this or why he gets that or etc. But we need their skilled expertise for watching any early signs of problems. And they take vital signs, not that we can't, and they provide all of his care of daily living that he needs. We haven't really, in 20 years, because he's 20 years old now, on Mother's Day, he turned 20. We really have not come across anyone who knew hardly any sign language at all. And that also goes for any speech therapists he's had in the past or any of that either. They teach them very little. And it's not American Sign Language for that matter either. I'm gonna follow your advice though and get this E6000 in a baggie, airtight. So it looks like I didn't need the broken one, and I picked out just 2 extra otherwise. And I got the sorry ladies. That's what happens when you hit the mouse. And I got the whole bottom covered. So we'll let that set up too. These feel like they're getting good. Oh goodness, what happened here? Oh, a little bit of a slant in how I had it set, and it's marbles. This roundness that you have is just causing a commotion. Just when I get my E6000 put away. This is just a no-no, y'all. Okay, that one guy is just insisting. One marble is insisting. What type of disability does my son have? My son, I should say our son, my husband and I. This is his only child. This is both of our second marriage, but this is his only child. And he was an more than excellent stepfather to my 3 older children that still love him to this day. So what type of disability does our son have? He was born at 28 weeks gestation, so 12 weeks early. And he was born less than a pound. And then I have a tattoo. I don't know if you guys can tilt it. So from the tip of my naughty finger all the way to there is exactly 10.5 inches. And that is how long he was, 10.5 inches and just under a pound. So he spent 7 months in a local hospital NICU, only once needing to go to have surgery at a big city hospital because we wanted a certain doctor to perform a surgery for him and have it be laparoscopic so it wasn't so invasive and less problems. And
so strange. I was sick for a week and I felt fine for a week, and this week I felt
so
yesterday I felt poorly. Today I felt fine.
then he came home, but he came home. He didn't. They call it. There's a thing called graduating the NICU, which means you don't need oxygen anymore. You can feed on your own. You can keep your own body temperature regulated and things like that. His body temperature he could keep regulated. Still had too high of a heart rate. Still had too fast of a respiratory rate. Needed respiratory support on oxygen continuously. And at the time, they sent him home with 14 medicines. And, they like, well, we've never sent a kid home on this many medications before. But little did we all know how much that would increase over time. We've made his medical regime. No, not regime. Regiment. As much natural and over the counter, homeopathic as we can to keep from having all the side effects that we might have with prescription medications. But by no means does he not have prescription medications, because he definitely does. But he was one that could not take Paxlovid because of one of the prescription medications he takes, and could not stop taking, just takes the Paxlovid for the virus. I'm seeing another problem here, a little hole. And yeah, he's got immune system problems. He has physical issues. He has heart issues, lung issues, developmental delay. His intellectual and cognitive skills are very scattered level, not even, at all. So, like math is just not something he's really ever, going to understand the concept of math, money, time, other than saying, later or tomorrow or yesterday, those kind of bigger time concepts. He does understand. He didn't talk till really till he was 7. He started to about 18 months to 2 years old. Also got sick again after that, and then just quit eating and quit talking. So he is given all of his medicines and feedings through a G tube. And I don't say he's nonverbal, because he did start to talk at 7. It's just he's also deaf, so it doesn't necessarily come out as something everyone understands. Yeah, developmental. Oh, Dana. Sound like there's some other stuff going on if he passed at the age of 9. I'm so sorry. Yeah. People don't understand when you say, developmental disabilities, it's a wide range of things that can fall into that category, and thus a wide range of things that affect someone's life. And it doesn't just affect their life, it affects the lives of their family and the people obviously taking care of them. And we've had lots of nurses over 20 years. We've also had lots and lots and lots of time with no nurse, which we won't go on and on about that. So, but yeah, he automatically qualifies for special services and nursing because of his extreme medical needs. We don't have to do anything about our income. It's all about his his extreme medical needs. But I have to tell you, ladies, for someone who has autism and is completely pretty much deaf in one ear and has moderate to severe loss in another, language should be a severe deficit for him. The only way that it is a deficit for him is, speaking English, like I said, because he can't hear it appropriately. He's so I say he's non-conversational, but he and I can have fluent conversations, including full sentences, back and forth, the whole bit, conversations in American Sign Language. He taught himself to read long before we knew he could read. He taught himself Spanish after that on some toys that would flip-flap, like you could flip a switch back and forth to Spanish. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful, Dana. Yeah, that's wonderful. And then little did we know, via the wonders of the internet and YouTube, he started finding videos that he liked and games that he liked already on YouTube or online, and he would find them in different languages. So he started to teach himself other foreign languages, and found out pretty quickly that he probably can hear better, and so prefers hard sounding letters that are the words that are very hard sounding, consonant heavy. Like, for example, he did dabble in trying some French, but then quickly dismissed it, I noticed, and I chalked that up to their language being too soft and probably too hard for him to hear and to replicate. So yeah, that's a guy. Yeah, he can't always communicate totally, though, when it comes to like how he physically feels or emotions. He's gotten better about what he wants, not so much about what he needs. Answering why questions has been a struggle for 20 years. And there, he requires a lot of patience when you're talking to him. You have to say what you need to say his name first, say what you need to say, whether it's a question or a statement, and then just pause and wait. You have to give him time to process and answer. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little way too common now, especially more so amongst boys still than girls, but it is definitely way too common of a developmental issue. Lots and lots more kids getting diagnosed, and kids that have struggled, some of them since birth, some of them at that 18 month to 2 year mark that is common, where they learn skills and learn speech, and then it just all of a sudden stops. So we are definitely looking at a neurodivergent world in many, many ways, whether it's what everybody would call a disability or not. Disability-wise, I don't know. Not everyone with a quote-unquote disability feels disabled. Pervasive developmental disorder. Okay, so pervasive developmental disorder. A specific one because PDD is another term that they kind of threw. Yeah, don't want to say threw around, but it was used before they kind of when they separated before they separated Asperger's from autism, and then now it's all okay. Now it's all autism spectrum disorder. It's just a matter of abilities, educational abilities, developmental abilities to take care of yourself. Okay, so when you say high functioning, you're discussing you're referring to his ability to function in taking care of himself, or also in functioning in the world he lives in and at school or work or whatever that might be for him. See, I think this is something none of us talk about. We all talk about crafts. We do talk about our families, but then we don't dive into this stuff. And this can be a very lonely world to be in. And I would never have known, Dana, that you knew anything about it or had a son or a friend's son. But it's to the point where everybody knows at least somebody, if they don't have it in their family already somehow. So I don't know. Let me see how long. I've been on an hour already, and I have not had any lunch yet, ladies. His main problems, sensory. Oh, yep. Yes. And my son does have ADHD on top of his issues. He does definitely have sensory issues too. Oh, Barbara, you were. Did I not know that about you? Huh. So what were your encounters with, as they call it now, neurodivergent children with different special needs is almost not cutting it anymore, because special needs can be anything and everything. And it doesn't mean developmental necessarily, and it doesn't mean neurological, but so early childhood educators. So ages 3, 4, 5. And what was that like over your 30 years? Okay. Regulating his mood. Yeah. The adolescent years can be rough. They say puberty hormones don't help with that. I'm looking this direction because that's where my chat is. Oh, you've worked with children from all scopes. Well, bless your heart, Barbara. And you too, Dana. It takes special people to choose to go into that kind of work and help children with issues of any kind.
What's that? Oh, nice.
Oh, Barbara.
Did you know why I feel good?
See, Dana and Barbara, just for the things you're saying,
Is there a lift down here?
yeah, those are the things we need to tell people about. Those were our experiences in life, and not all experiences in life are good. And we have to be able to talk about those things without people wanting to shut us down and not wanting to hear the difficult and the sad and the hard stuff. I think when children are sick or have any kind of issues, it's really hard in society in general to really want to cope with that or be around it, know much about it, because nobody likes to hear a kid is sick. It's hard to see a sick kid. That's not the way life is supposed to go. It's not the quote unquote natural order of things. You are supposed to be born, live however long of a life, and die hopefully at a nice ripe old age. But when kids are sick, it's very difficult for a lot of people, including extended family, to accept and to know how to, or figure out how to interact with. I see. Hard time with that school social setting. He has matured a lot in the last year, and he regularly. How old is he? Can I ask you, Dana? And Barbara, I am so sorry about your sister-in-law. That's a difficult situation surrounding death, as it is, much less it being your sister-in-law, and that she did have a syndrome. On top of it, he's an adopted child. Oh, you have to be navigating without it. He's 20. Oh, so he's like Oliver. Oliver's not adopted, but he is 20. So yeah, navigating without a history at all. Yeah, we've got all that history. Oh, do they ask? Yeah, when it came time for genetics and what was going on, because it doesn't seem like Oliver has a syndrome that anyone knows of yet. We have a very prominent pediatric hospital downtown Chicago, and their genetics department has done wonders for checking into the most latest developments in genetics for Oliver, hand in hand with the NIH, the National Institute of Health Hospital in Georgia. It's government-based, government-owned. If I'm sure people have heard of it from the last several years of this illness that I had. It was brought up quite a bit, that place. But they haven't found anything that he has. So the running theory is that he has a syndrome or some sort of genetic thing that just has not been found yet. He started showing signs around when your sister-in-law was born in the 60s. They told you. Yeah, Barbara, they did a lot of that. There was very few people who, in those days, in the 60s and 70s, even 80s, that kept their children at home. There was a lot of pressure, not just told, but a lot of pressure to institutionalize back then. Then there started to become studies being done and realizing that not only the cost effectiveness of having them cared for at home, but how much better these children and people of all types of disabilities, if they had the proper supports at home, it was not only cheaper, but the disabled person thrived much better than in an institution. So your son started showing signs around 3. Oh, fragile. 2 kids with Fragile X. Yeah. Your in-law's position was that they brought home all their children, and she was coming home too. Good. And honestly, there are some words that YouTube doesn't like, but with all the certain type of weapon violence that we're having in our country, people are starting to use that institution word again. That if mental health has anything to do with these people and mass use of certain types of high-powered weaponry and mass tragedy, mass loss of life, that with if they've got mental health issues, they could have been helped differently ahead of time, perhaps even institutionalized instead of actually being at home with family and parents. Then they couldn't have done what they did. And I think that that's a fine line to walk. We brought all these people out of institutions, also not only studying that they would do better and it was cheaper, but finding the horrors that were going on in some of these institutions, a lot of these institutions. Oh, we love you too, Barbara. No, and honestly, that's kind of how I feel about it. Dana, it's not just even for the heck of it. I don't think that normal people would do it at all. There's something that either snaps, what they consider a crime of passion, or something that literally snaps in their brain and in their psyche, where they're not thinking like they were thinking previously, and there are problems. Yeah, I don't know all the solutions, but yeah, there has to be some sort of mental problem, in order to think it's acceptable to take the life of another person, especially another innocent person, especially children, any of that stuff. So, well, I'm going to let you ladies go. I have loved hearing all about your children and your families and the jobs that you've done, and your interactions that you've had. Yeah, you have an awesome day too, Dana. Maybe I will see you on online with Beth. If not, I will see you again another day. La 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 la. Barbara, my chicken pot pie. I shall see you around again another time. Thank you for coming and watching with me, and thank you to anyone who watches this on the replay. Like and subscribe if I'm new to you, but go ahead and give me a like as well if you liked anything about this video or these types of videos. Go ahead and comment if you would, even with ideas that, things that you like to see me do craft wise, or discussions you might like to, topics that you might like to have on this channel. I am open to all of that stuff. So thank you, ladies, again, and I will see you around. You gave me the finger? Ah, I love you, chicken pot pie. It's my favorite finger. Chicken finger. All right. I will see you ladies on the flip side sometime soon, if I can figure out how to stop this video. Huh. Oh no, I just increased the size of myself. That is not what I wanted to do. And I don't even see where I can turn this video off. Let's see. Woohoo! There we are. Bye, everybody. See you next time. End.